Today we will be discussing the chapter number 5. The name of the chapter is Health, Diseases and the Hygiene. I'll try to cover the whole chapter in this video session. Now see, the name of the chapter is Health, Diseases and the Hygiene. Clear? There are three different terms such as health, diseases and the hygiene. Health means physically, mentally and socially well-being. Disease means uncomfortable. Disease means uncomfortable, not feeling good. And hygiene means, in a word we can say, it is cleanliness. What is the meaning of the word disease? Disease stands for dis-ease, that means not easy, or we can say uncomfortable. This is the meaning of disease. Dis and ease means not at easy or uncomfortable. Disease, it is the condition of the body that does not allow the body to function properly. Whenever there will be a disturbance in the normal working or functioning of the body, we may define or we may treat this situation as a disease or an illness. Clear? Whenever, I repeat once again, whenever there will be the case of disturbance in the normal functioning of the body, this situation will be known as disease or illness. And there are different or many reasons for causing disease. This is the classification of all kind of diseases broadly into two categories, such as communicable disease, or we can say infectious disease, and the non-communicable diseases or non-infectious diseases. Non-communicable diseases, these are those diseases which are generally known as non-contagious. Pay your attention here. The term is non-contagious. Non-contagious means these are the non-communicable diseases. They are not infectious. Clear? They generally cannot spread from one person to another person. In that sense, we can say that these are the non-communicable diseases. Once again, I repeat, whenever a disease not spread from one person to another person, we will tag such kind of diseases by the name of non-communicable diseases or the non-infectious or non-contagious diseases. Am I clear? Now, what are the reasons? These diseases are caused due to the deficiency. Pay your attention. These kind of non-communicable or non-contagious or non-infectious diseases are mainly caused due to the deficiency of nutrients. And the main nutrients are vitamins and the other nutrients also, such as proteins may be. Clear? So due to deficiency of such kind of nutrients, either the vitamins or the proteins mainly, they will lead to the situation of malfunctioning of the body. And in turn, this will lead or will be responsible for causing of diseases. And these diseases will be known as the deficiency based diseases or the non-communicable or the non-contagious or the non-infectious diseases. Now, for the case of communicable diseases, these are always contagious, these are always infectious diseases. Mind it. The main difference between non-communicable disease and the communicable diseases is non-communicable diseases are not contagious diseases or infectious diseases, but communicable diseases are the infectious diseases. This kind of or this type of communicable diseases are very easily passed from an infected person to a healthy person, either in direct contact or indirect contact or manner. These are generally known as infectious diseases, as I mentioned earlier, and there are different reasons. And the main reason for causing such communicable diseases is the presence of disease-causing germs. Once again, I repeat, the presence of disease-causing germs in the body. This will be responsible for causing the communicable diseases, and it may be passed from an infected person to the healthy person, either by the direct method or the indirect method or modes. Now see, these disease causing germs which are responsible for causing the communicable or infectious diseases are generally known as the pathogens. Therefore, we can say pathogens are mainly disease causing germs, DCG. We can use the acronym or mnemonic word DCG. Disease causing germs are generally termed as pathogens. And these pathogens are also known as infectious agents. And what are the examples of such kind of pathogens? Examples are virus, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, worms, etc. It is very important that only this kind of infectious agents either or pathogens are only or can only be seen through the microscope. Therefore, these pathogens or infectious agents are known as microorganisms or the microbes. The reason is we can only observe such kind of infectious agents responsible for causing the communicable diseases through or under only microscope. Therefore, the another name of pathogens or infectious disease or infectious agents are the microorganisms. Clear? Now see, this is the list of the different name of the different infectious agents or pathogens or microbes, and it is the name. This is there are the different types of names of the disease caused by them. For the case of bacteria, it is an infectious agent. Clear? Now the disease caused by bacteria are: number 1, tuberculosis or TB, whooping cough, tetanus, typhoid, diphtheria, pneumonia, cholera. These are the bacterial diseases. Now the viral or virus caused diseases are such as common cold is a virus disease. Mind it, not a bacterial disease. Another example is influenza, measles, chickenpox, polio, rabies, AIDS, and the swine flu. Clear? Now the COVID-19. It is also a viral disease. Protozoa. The diseases are malaria, sleeping sickness, and the dysentery. These are the diseases caused by the protozoa. And the fungi: ringworm, athlete's foot, food poisoning. Mind it, food poisoning is a disease caused by the microbes that is known as the fungi. Clear? These are the microbes, and these are the names of the different diseases caused by these different microbes. Now, this is very important topic regarding the spread of communicable diseases. Spread of means the modes of communicable diseases. A communicable disease may or can spread easily through an infected person through different modes, and broadly these modes are categorized into 2 subcategories. Number 1 is direct method, another one is the indirect method. Now under the direct method there are 2 different types of method, such as communicable diseases are spread through the direct contact, number 1, and another one is the communicable diseases are spread through the cough or wounds in the skin. Through the direct contact, healthy persons directly comes in contact with a person suffering from the disease. That means such kind of contact based communicable diseases spread mainly to the healthy person directly from the infected person who is suffering from the in any infectious disease. And disease can also spread through articles. These are known as the fomites. Examples are towels, handkerchief, utensils, etc. The condition is if such kind of fomites or handkerchief or utensils or towels if are used by the sick person, then an infectious disease may easily spread from that infected person to the healthy person. What are the examples of such kind of communicable diseases that are spreaded directly to the healthy person from the sick person? Answer is chickenpox disease, measles, ringworm, etc. These are spread through the direct contact. Now for the second case, spread of communicable disease through cuts and wounds present in the skin. Now see, this is the diagram of chickenpox a girl is suffering from. Now germs can easily enter the body or into the body through the cuts and the wounds on the skin and may cause infection. Example is tetanus. Disease may also spread from mother to the child during the childbirth. These two kinds of examples were based on the direct mode of communicable diseases. Clear? Now another mode of communicable disease is indirect method or indirect mode. Infectious agents may also spread from one person to another person indirectly through or by a medium. And what are the medium? Mind it: air, food, water, or the vector. These are the examples of medium and through which an infectious agent may spread from healthy person to the from sick person to the or infected person to the healthy person, either through by air, food, water, and the vector. Clear? Now see, the term vector is very important. Vectors are mainly insects or other animals. These are the main carriers of infectious disease. Therefore, we can say vectors are either insects or other animals who may carry the infectious agents, bacteria, virus, protozoa, fungi, etc. Under this indirect method or mode of spread of communicable disease, this kind of disease may spread through air either or through infected food and water. Through air, a sick person who is suffering from common cold, tuberculosis, diphtheria or influenza, coughs and sneezes. Therefore, germs are released into the air by coughing and sneezing. Therefore, we can say a healthy person who is inhaling this air may get suffered from the disease, as the reason is discharge from the nose and the mouth of that infected person contains DCG, disease causing germs or the pathogens. In short, we can say through air pathogens are spreaded by the infected person to the body of the healthy person, and the medium is air. Clear? Now through the infected food and the water. Germs are also transmitted through infected food and water. And what are the examples of those organisms? Such as house flies and the cockroaches. These are the names of organisms, and these are the carrier of the pathogens. And these pathogens are transmitted by these carriers, houseflies and the cockroaches, through infected food and the water. These organisms carry germs on their bodies, and they collect the germs from dirty places like garbage and the sewer. And these kind of organisms are known as the carriers of the germs. Mind it. Food and water are the carriers of germs. Clear? There are some instructions we should follow, that we should never leave a food or water uncovered, because the carriers may sit on it and leave the germs there. And the situation of the presence of germs on water or in food item is known as the contamination. Therefore, the food with germs and the water with germs are termed as contaminated. Clear? Contamination means the presence of microbes is known as the contamination. When the germs or microbes are present in food or water, food and water will be treated as contaminated food and the contaminated water. Clear? It should be discarded. Another instruction is handling food and water with dirty hand too can contaminate food and water. We should also avoid the touching of dirty hand in terms of carrying the food or the water, because it may also responsible for contamination of food and the water, and therefore they will be known as contaminated food and water. And if we consume this contaminated food and water, the present germs will enter into our body and will make us ill. This is the main reason. That's why we should avoid the contaminated food and water. Now, what are the examples of those diseases that are spread from contaminated food and water? The examples are typhoid, jaundice, and the food poisoning. The most common is the food poisoning. These are the name of diseases caused by eating either contaminated food or the contaminated or polluted drinking water. The third modes of spread of communicable disease is through the vectors. It is very important. Through the vectors. Who are the vectors? Vectors are mainly the carriers of microbes or the disease causing agents. What are the examples? Either maybe the insects or the animals. Mosquitoes are the insects, and houseflies are the insects. Clear? These are known as the most common vectors. Now, how they will spread the disease? When an insect such as mosquito bites an infected person, the germs reaches into the bloodstream of the mosquito. But these germs will not harm the mosquito. But when this mosquito will bite healthy person, the germs will get automatically transferred into the bloodstream of that healthy person, and the person will become sick or infected. Example of such kind of disease is malaria. It is caused by protozoan. It is very important. Malaria, it is a disease, it is a vector-borne disease caused by a protozoan, and the carrier is the female Anopheles mosquito. Mind it. Another example is dengue. It is also transmitted by the mosquito Aedes. This is the carrier, and it infects the healthy person easily, and the virus of the dengue disease is the dengue virus. Clear? Malaria is a protozoal disease, but dengue is a viral disease. Mind it. Therefore, we can say, considering both diseases, malaria and the dengue, we can say that Anopheles is responsible for malaria and the Aedes is responsible for causing the dengue. In this case, will act as the vectors for malaria disease and the dengue disease. Animal may also act as vector. How? Because they may also transmit the disease by biting. The infected person, as they carry the virus of the disease, clear, in their body. The example is rabies disease. It is the disease caused by biting of dog. Mind it, biting of dog causes the disease rabies in the human body. Its bite transfer the virus and cause the fatal disease, rabies. Therefore, we can say there are some animals may carry the germs of certain diseases in their body, and if they bite, they may transfer the germs to the victim body and cause the disease. Now there is a question, you may think of it, Nipah virus, and which animal is the carrier of Nipah virus, and how do they spread to the human body? Now, what are the ways that we may consider to prevent the communicable diseases? There are different ways. Number one is careful regarding personal hygiene or cleanliness. This is the first one. Second one is we should wash our hands frequently with soap and water before and after eating meal, or after sneezing or coughing. The third one is we should cover our nose while with a tissue and handkerchief while we are coughing or sneezing. Fourth one is we should not share the towels or the cloths or the spectacles or the eye drops or any kind of pomades with those persons who are or is suffering from the communicable diseases or infectious diseases. Example is conjunctivitis. This is an eye infection. Clear? Conjunctivitis. The another important way is we should not leave the stagnant water around our house or in the cooler. Stagnant, the word stagnant means water body without any flow. That means still water without motion. Clear? So we should not leave the stagnant water around our house because it may promote the breeding of mosquito. Another important way is to keep our dustbin covered, as well as drinking water and the food items should also be covered, and uncovered food items, water should not be consumed. Another way is we should avoid using dirty bathrooms of the public toilets or places such as railway station or the cinema halls. And we should spray disinfectants and insecticides in our house time to time. Insecticides are those chemicals used to kill the insects, and disinfectants are those chemical agents used to kill the germs. Clear? Now this is very important. What is vaccination? Vaccination, it is a process of building the immunity power against certain diseases. It is the method of introducing dead or the weakened disease causing germs, DCG, into the body so that body can respond against certain diseases. The main aim of vaccination is to build up the immunity power against certain diseases, mind it. And it is the process of introducing the dead disease causing germs, DCG, into our body so that we can prevent a particular or a specific disease. And such kind of DCG, disease causing germs, that are introduced in our body are known as vaccines. Therefore, we can say in another word, vaccines are DCG, disease causing germs or agents that are introduced into our body, and this will lead to the situation of vaccination or immunization, and in turn it will produce the immunity against certain diseases. As vaccine enters the human body, antibodies are formed. The second important function of vaccination is to produce the antibodies in our body against those certain diseases. What are the examples of such vaccinable diseases? Such as DPT, diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, MMR, measles, mumps, rubella, and the polio. These are the diseases which can be removed through the process of vaccination. Clear? Now what is TB vaccine? TB vaccine is also known as BCG, Bacillus calmette-guerin. Mind it. TB vaccine is BCG, Bacillus calmette-guerin, and this vaccine will act against the tuberculosis, TB. Now deficiency disease. What are the deficiency diseases? Deficiency diseases are those diseases which are occurred or happened due to the deficiency of nutrients in our body. Mainly the deficiency of vitamins and the proteins are responsible for causing the deficiency of diseases. What are the examples of such deficiency diseases? Examples are night blindness, beriberi, scurvy, rickets, anemia, etc. These are the deficiency based diseases. And these diseases are caused due to not taking sufficient amount of nutrients in our food intake. Clear? Such as we can say minerals. Although minerals and the vitamins are the nutrients, they are required in small traces or small quantity, but their absence in body may have a deficiency and we may fall sick, because minerals and vitamins are the nutrients that keep us healthy, and its deficiency may lead to undernourishment or malnourishment. To avoid such kind of deficiency diseases, we should have a proper or balanced diet. Mind it, a balanced diet. We should have a balanced diet on day-to-day basis. Otherwise, it may lead to malnourishment or undernourishment and may cause beriberi, scurvy, rickets, anemia, or night blindness, such kind of diseases. Now this is the list of different diseases and their sources, and the lack of nutrients. Lack of protein, the deficiency of disease is kwashiorkor. beans, fish, chickens, etc. are the source of protein. Protein and carbohydrate deficiency disease is marasmus. This marasmus is also known as PEM, protein energy malnutrition based deficiency disease. The sources of protein and carbohydrates are beans, fish, chicken, egg, milk, etc. Iron deficiency disease is anemia, and the sources of iron is apple, banana, guava, etc. Iron deficiency disease is goiter, neck gets swollen, and the source of iron is iodized salt, seafood, etc. Calcium deficiency disease mainly related to bone disease, bone weakness and bone decay, tooth decay, bone softness, etc. The source of calcium is egg, milk, dairy products, etc. Phosphorus deficiency disease is also known as bones weakness and the brittle bone. Clear? And the source of phosphorus is milk, green vegetables, cereals, etc. Now vitamin deficiency related diseases are vitamin A, night blindness, vitamin B, beriberi, vitamin C, scurvy, vitamin D, rickets, vitamin E, early aging, and vitamin K is delayed clotting of blood. Delayed clotting of blood is caused due to the deficiency of vitamin K. These are the sources of different kinds of vitamins. Vitamin A, carrot, vitamin B, beans, vitamin C, orange or citrus fruits, vitamin D, fish, egg, vitamin E, milk, egg, vitamin K, fish, liver curd, oil, etc. There are also other non-communicable diseases which we can easily control by consuming balanced diet. Mind it, by consuming balanced diet we can easily control the non-communicable diseases. Mainly these diseases occur due to the malfunctioning of body organs. And what are the examples of those diseases? Such as diabetes related to blood disease, and the disease of pancreas, heart disease, kidney malfunctioning, etc., arthritis, cancer, etc. These diseases can be controlled by cannot be controlled by taking the consuming balanced diet, but these diseases are mainly occur due to the malfunctioning of the body organs. Now the last topic of today's discussion is cleanliness, hygiene and the exercise. Cleanliness means, in another word we can say hygiene. Now see, there is a very famous saying that prevention is better than cure. Mind it, prevention is better than cure. We need to take first the preventive measures rather than considering the method of treatment or cureness. We can prevent many diseases by maintaining cleanliness, by maintaining hygiene, and doing on a regular basis the exercise. These are the three things we can adopt in our life in order to prevent the diseases, because prevention is better than the cure. Once again I repeat, cleanliness, hygiene, exercise, daily exercise. These are the three important practices we need to adopt in our life in order to prevent the diseases. Therefore we can say prevention is better than the cure. What are those activities that we need to follow? Such as, we should eat clean and healthy food always. We should boil the water before consuming it, because boiling is one of the most important disinfecting method of water. We should take bath regularly because it will remove the dust, sweat and the germs, and it may also prevent many diseases, skin infections and the allergies. We should brush our teeth 2 times in a day, and we should clean our tongue with the tongue cleaner. We should not spit in the public places. We should do regular exercises, because exercises will tone up our muscles and help to rejuvenate the body. We should take adequate sleep, 6 to 7 hours per day, because it will relax our muscles and repairs the body cells. And we should have always a healthy and balanced diet. These are the some activities we need to perform on a daily basis in order to prevent the diseases from our life. Therefore, we can say prevention is better than cure by following this kind of activities. Thanks for watching.